Have you ever looked at the news or your own life and just wondered, why? Why did that happen? Why do good people suffer? If you've ever felt that injustice, and it just feels like this world sometimes could be a random, chaotic mess, and if you've been wondering if there's any purpose in this pain, if God can truly bring something good out of the deepest heartache, then I invite you to stick around, because friend, I believe the answer is in my kitchen. You're probably going to think this is a little random, but I'm making bread tonight. And as I was getting everything ready, all I could think about was the recent tragedies in the news. And it makes me wonder, people have to be asking, where is God in the midst of all of it? You have all these different ingredients. You have the flour, the bitterness of loss, the water, all the tears, the salt, the deep, deep pain. In the yeast, the unexplainable injustice. On their own, they're just these chaotic ingredients. They don't make sense together. And I feel like that's where a lot of us are right now. We're looking at these horrific, evil things happening in the world, and we're just wondering, how can God bring good out of any of it? Why didn't he just stop it from happening? And that's when it hit me. God can use every single one of those ingredients because he's the baker. Even the ones that are bitter and painful, he can mix them all together in ways that we don't understand. And in that quiet waiting, something incredible can happen. It leads us to a place of trust and hope. Friend, God does not cause evil. He hates it. But in this world where he has given us free will, we have a choice to make, to do good or to do evil. The Bible tells us in Romans 8:28 that in all things God works for the good of those who love him. Yet that could be a hard verse to believe when you're standing in the middle of a mess, when you find yourself living through your darkest day, and ask, God, where are you? Friend, it's in these moments, it's in the waiting that we have to trust that there really is a baker. The truth is, we don't have to carry this burden alone. If you're wrestling with these same questions, if you're looking for a safe place, a way to remind yourself daily that there is hope, I want to invite you to join our community. I send out devotionals along with lock screens and Bible studies that you can keep on your phone. Friend, you can find that link in the description below to remind you that yes, God can bring good out of any situation that you're in. Do you remember Job and what he lived through? He lost everything and sat in ashes, wrestling with the silence of God. This is actually where the early church lived, suffering persecution and loss. And Paul would write to them in 2 Corinthians chapter 1, telling them that their suffering had a purpose. Friend, this is the whole promise of the cross of Christ. The most unjust, evil, and tragic event in human history was the very thing God used to save the world. It wasn't random. It had a purpose. Because you see, our baker, our God, can take everything that is happening, good and evil, and he can do immeasurably more than we could ever ask or imagine, and still bring good, still bring light, still bring purpose out of evil, dark, senseless situations. And he's not giving up on us, friend. Remember what 1 Peter 5:10 tells us? After we have suffered a little while, God himself will restore and make us strong. All the pain, all the tears, all the questions, it wasn't wasted. It wasn't in vain. And just as God can take a handful of separate ingredients and turn them into something beautiful and nourishing, like bread, isn't that comforting? He's not overlooking the pain and the tragedy, but he's reminding us that he feels our pain. He collects our tears, and he gives you and me a promise that none of it is in vain. because He is working all things together for our good, for His purpose. Friend, I don't know what you're going through. Maybe you've seen the recent tragedies on the news. He is working purpose through it, knowing that no matter what you are going through, no matter what is happening right now, He has our best in mind, and He's here for us. And the truth is that sometimes maybe the outcome isn't what we expect. Maybe the bread doesn't turn out the way I thought it would. The ingredients didn't come together the way I expected. But even in a mess, all those ingredients, they're not wasted. We can trust the baker. And isn't that the real point?